Talofa lava ma lole soe for Maomalangi MMA and welcome back. Today joining us, I'm super excited to introduce Julius Long here today at BluTV, Tautai A'e. Talofa lava, Julius, how are you? Please introduce yourself to our viewers today.
Hi everybody, Julius Long here, the world's tallest fighter, WBA boxing champion. Been in the ring with a lot of the best, you know what I mean? Mike Tyson was my top sparring partner when I first got started into boxing. Learning on the job, no amateur fights. He gave me a lot of beatings, so I basically had to get good, you know? It is what it is. When you're in there with somebody like Mike Tyson, he's throwing major punches at your head and body shots and stuff like that. He's like the David Tua in New Zealand, you know? And that's a whole nother story.
He's a massive name, Mike Tyson, and I've also seen that you've done a lot of work alongside David Tua as well.
Absolutely. Been in there with David Tua and stuff like that. I came over here with David Tua to help him in the Houston off camp before he was preparing for his last fight, and he got injured for a couple of months, and I decided to stay, you know, and I ended up fighting on the Joseph Parker undercard and knocking out the former rugby player Jason Williams. He was undefeated. I put him to rest, you know, knocked him out, put him to sleep. It was nap time.
It was nap time. Look, you turned pro at the age of 23. Obviously, you weren't napping. You were making sure that you were on top of your game. What are some of the challenges you have faced?
Coming from America, coming from Detroit, the murder capital of the world, you know, it's a place that you just don't travel to visit. You know, it's not one of those tour sites, you know, because you might leave out in the body bag. But you know, I had to walk past a lot of drug dealers growing up and people dying right in front of my face. And like, dude, I've been robbed almost like 3 or 4 times just going to the store to get gas or get something to eat late night. So, you know, life is really what you make it. You know, you gotta cherish every day above ground.
Okay, you know, you've mentioned that life is different in America, and at the age of 23, what helped you move away from that life, because you've grown up in that life? So how did you channel all of that and navigate your way out so that you are not part of that life that's happening currently in America or in your hometown?
Well, first of all, as I wear the NBA shirt, I had 3 family members in my family that went to the NBA professional. Grant Long, Terry Mills, John Long. John Marion is my cousin, so I guess we could say 4. And everybody knows who Sean Marion is, of course. Well, those guys opened up a lot of doors for me, you know what I mean? They told me that, you know, they make their money and everything, but, you know, you always can't count on family to give you something, you know what I mean? You can't always go around for a handout. They showed me how to create opportunities for myself, you know what I mean? Because people out here want to give you opportunities to make stuff happen, but you got to be able to show them that you want that opportunity. And they showed me how I could just walk into any place and create opportunity to make people want me.
I love that. Look, Julius, tell us a little bit about your experience starting out as a professional boxer.
That was hard. To get started off as a professional boxer, that was pretty crazy because it all leads back here to New Zealand, you know, where I'm at now, the beautiful island. I was at one of my friend's house. We were watching David Tua versus Lennox Lewis, and I had a couple of beers and we were checking it out. One of my friends was a David Tua fan. I was a natural Lennox Lewis fan because he's tall, you know.
Yep.
And I was trying to craft my sport after Lennox. But we was having some beers, getting down, barbecuing and stuff like that, watching the fight. At the end of the night, the fight went off. I was still hungry. I went to a burger joint that stayed open pretty late back towards my house on the east side of Detroit. And I ran into some boxing promoters actually in there. These guys were from Lebanon, and they looked at me and they saw $1 million. You know, they was like, I reached all the way from the other end of the table and grabbed the salt and pepper shaker and brought it back, and they just walked up to me and was like, hey man, you want to fight? I was like, hell yeah, I want to fight. I'll kick your ass right now. Please take it outside. I was pretty cocky and everything at 23, you know. I didn't have that guidance just yet. To know when the good thing was sitting in front of me. But I took the opportunity. They gave me their business card. They paid for my meal. They gave me $2,000 cash. That's how much faith and belief in they had in me, just knowing me for a couple of minutes. So I said, this cash right here, and you feeding me? I was like, well, I'm gonna go take your business card. I went home and thought about it. Woke up the next morning, went to the gym, and I started destroying everybody in the gym. So this management had to find somebody else to put in there and get in the ring with me, and that's when Mike Tyson came into play. Don King, people called up, said, hey, we heard you like to get hit, and we got Mike Tyson down here. We're gonna send you off to training camp. I was like, well, how much is it paying? They're like, he's paying $4,500 a week plus food. I was like, sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up, buddy. First day we got in there, he broke 3 guys' ribs. He sent them home. That was a lesson for me to learn. And I said, oh, yeah, you're not going to hit me with that. I'm not going home because I know it's not $4,500 at home. I was like, so I basically just strapped the nuts on, you know what I mean? Took a couple of shots from him and filled them out, see what he had to do. By the time it was the 4th round, all that steam was out of him, you know?
Mm. Wow, so you were basically poached just getting a meal. And you landed yourself the best boxing deal by the sounds of it, hey?
Yeah.
A meal, $2,000, and then getting paid over $4,000 a week.
Yeah, I got to see a great fight, David Tua and Lennox Lewis, you know? After that, went and paid for a burger and got my meal paid for and all that, and got some cash, and ended up going to a gym and getting free membership, beating up on a couple of guys' heads, and then ended up with the top heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, at the time. You know, I couldn't have a better teacher to learn from besides him, Mike Tyson, Larry Donalds, the Oliver McCalls, you know, the Thomas Hearns from Detroit. The list goes on, you know. I was in I had Emmanuel Stewart before even Tyson Fury. I had Emmanuel Stewart as my coach, you know. Those guys, like Tyson Fury, looks like he's almost 70 years old because he's all bald-headed and old. But he's younger than I am. That's what's crazy. And the funny part about it is, like, back in the day in Detroit, I would go to Kronk and everything. You know, all these guys would be in there. I didn't know who these guys were because I didn't care about these guys.
Yeah.
The Andy Ruizes and all that. The Aaron Pryor sons. Andy Lee that's working with Joseph Parker right now. I was like, who are these little guys? I don't care. These guys are like 14, 15 years old. They couldn't carry my nuts in my briefcase. I was like, I'm out of here. But yeah, you know.
I wasn't going to ask, but, you know, we're quite familiar with, people getting established at a very young age from, like you said, like from the ages of 15, 12, 15 to 18 is probably the ages that a lot of people are poached. At the age of 23, how did you feel? Did you feel like that wasn't, obviously they saw the talent, but how did you feel? Did you feel like you were a little bit too old for, you know, to be poached, or what was the feeling like?
Shit, the funny part about it is I didn't even know too much about boxing at all, really. You know, I just like watching the fights and stuff. And at the end of the day, I was like, shit, that's a whole lot of money and stuff like that. I got people walking past me in Detroit every time I would just go somewhere and trying to offer me a bag to sell. And I seen what that would do to you. It's going to get you right in jail, you know. So, you know, I had my stints of being a bad boy. You know, I'm original blood, you know. So I had my time of being a bad boy. I did my things. I did my street time and all that and got out the game. And a lot of people don't understand, once you make a lot of money, you just can't go back to your regular neighborhood because a lot of people are out there and they don't like that, you know, because it was like you left them there. You know?
Yeah.
I make money. I revolve now. I'm not, that's not me no more. I'm not a killer.
Yeah.
I want to eat a sandwich with pickles and mayonnaise with the crust cut off, please. I'm not a killer anymore. Don't bring that in.
I love that. I love that. And here you are now. Look, David Tua is well known for his powerful left hook. What would you say is your signature hook or signature move?
My signature move would be probably a left hook uppercut. Left hook and uppercut, probably. Like I said, David Tua's got exceptional power, and I've been keeping up with my brother David Tua, watching the videos and the motivation stuff that he's been doing on his own channel. Man, it's like he's been reborn or something. I thought he was 20 or something like that. I was like, they asked me to get back in there and spar him again. I said, shit.
So in this case, age doesn't matter.
Yeah, age ain't nothing but a number, like R. Kelly said, but we see what numbers he's doing now. He's doing lifey.
We've been talking a little bit about signature moves. Your signature move, is it intentional?
I was working on it, but I wouldn't say it was intentional. You know, what I mean, I worked on it and everything, but like I said, once I started landing it and I seen it worked, I added it to the repertoire. You know, I was like, be something, be onto something here. It's just basically like when they made Fruity Pebbles and Lucky Charms cereal. They was like, we're onto something here. It's a classic.
I love it. We're on to something. Look, we've watched a few boxing matches. You know, we've seen, you know, obviously a few names. David Tua, just Whaka here in New Zealand, which are Pasifika boxers. We kind of see a little bit of anger in the ring. Obviously, you know, we don't know what's going on in the ring. Are you angry in the ring?
Yeah, you got to be a little bit angry in the ring, but you still can't take anger and go forward, put it that way, you know what I mean? Because if you go with anger and going forward, a lot of times you're not really thinking clearly, and that's when most of the time you get hit with a shot because your anger brought you forward, you know what I mean? And you're not focusing on going on what the other guy's bringing out, you know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, I tell every fighter that I train and I work with, I say, look, you get in the ring, you know what I mean? This guy over here, he's got two hands just like you and shit, you know? What's wrong with your two hands? What makes his two hands better than yours, you know what I mean? All you got to do is get in there and focus and throw your punches, you know what I mean? And the better man wins on the night, you know what I mean?
You compared the skill as well to chess. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I like playing chess, actually. You know, a lot of people say boxers don't have the common sense, are pretty stupid and stuff, but most of us are pretty smart, you know what I mean? We think of a lot of different ways to do things faster and easier than other people, I would say. Yeah. But, yeah, I say boxing is like chess because you got to plan 3 moves ahead of the person, you know what I mean? If you're just doing a 1-2 and a hook and then not doing anything else, the other person is going to be a counter puncher and might take you out because he's already taking moves ahead of you.
There's a lot of combination and a lot of moves that are required in boxing. What are some of the challenges our aspiring boxers can potentially face when turning pro?
As I said before, you can suffer from bad management, you know. You can switch trainers up. You know, you can have people in there just trying to get you for your money and put you in the ring. You face a lot of different things out there becoming an upcoming boxer. You know, you want to get the right management first. You want to get the right fights out the way. You want to make sure that these guys protect you and got your best interests at heart.
We don't necessarily see what is beyond the ring. Has the industry developed, and has it developed well, in your opinion?
Yeah, the industry has developed very well, I would say. You know, we got some players in the game right now just putting some money up and making some good promotion with their fighters and stuff. There's Floyd Mayweather trying to do some promotion and stuff like that. We got a lot of New Zealand promoters here that's up and coming and stuff, that's putting their fighters on the show. So, yeah, I think boxing is getting back up there and being exciting. Like MMA is taking off a whole lot right now too, but it'll never be boxing. It's still making good money, but it'll never be boxing. People love boxing.
Yeah, I love boxing too. Are you still nursing any injuries from boxing? The only reason why I ask is because I wanted to see if you had any advice for my current injury, my ankle.
No, like I said, I've never had really no injuries in my whole long pro career. But mostly if I did have like any sores or any real pains, I would probably just like put my leg inside of a willy bin with a lot of water and Epsom salt and vinegar to take the swelling down and stuff like that, first of all, and take the pain away. And then probably some D-heat rub and tie a nice hot towel around it to keep the swelling down. And
might give that a go, actually. Outside of the ring, what keeps you going?
I would just say family, most definitely, and the fans. A lot of my fans, I'm there to help them in any type of situation and stuff like that. I'm basically really hands-on with a lot of people. They message me on Facebook. You know, I'm just an average guy, just like everybody else. You know, I got 2 legs, I got 2 hands. I walk around. you see me in countdown, speak up and say hi to me. You know, just don't be peeking around the corner in the cookie aisle looking at me thinking I'm Chris Scale and taking pictures. 'Cause that's what a lot of people do. They either mistake me for Clarence Tillman or Chris Scale, the cricket player. So I had this one guy following me all around countdown, taking pictures of me, calling me Chris. until he offered me $50. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm Chris.
Look,
Get that bacon and egg pie with this.
I love that you mentioned that you're just a normal average guy, but you're not. If we let's be honest, you're not. You're quite, you know, you've managed to, you know, be in the ring with some of the biggest names, and this is in the world. But you've also mentioned off camera a lot of projects that you are also working on to help develop our youth here in New Zealand. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be happy to. You know, I'm a big fan of the Man Up program that you guys have here in New Zealand and everything. Silent partner on that, you know, just basically come in and talk to the people and stuff. Try to make a good approach to help those guys out down there. Got a lot of good friends that's a part of that. And I'm basically trying to pick up the youth around here. A lot of kids out here without their fathers and just very bad and disrespectful to their parents and stuff like that. I'm giving them some type of way to channel that energy somewhere else, you know what I mean? If I'm just taking them away from their parents for about an hour or 2 hours a day and giving them some training, some discipline and stuff like that in their lives and giving them somebody to actually look up to, you know what I mean? Because I had a couple of kids in the gym and stuff like that, and I was working with them. Like, not right now, I'm actually working with about like 20 kids right now, coming from a program where they stay in like a home or something like that, where they have a caregiver that takes care of them and brings them there to the gym. So I work with these guys and stuff like that, and just constantly letting them know everything's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Somebody might have gave up on you, but I'm not. You know.
No, I love that. We're interested to find the reasons. Why did you move to New Zealand?
Yeah, I moved to New Zealand. I came over here with just spar with the David Tour camp and stuff like that and get in some good shape because at the point I was over in Detroit and I was sitting back and I was thinking about retiring. Actually, I came over here very out of shape and everything. And like I said, I came to New Zealand. I fell in love with the band 660 and it was some songs on there that really just touched my life, you know what I mean, at the time that I needed to. That was just something really good that I needed in my life coming from Detroit. You know, that was just something that I really needed in my life, you know, to open up to those songs and the lyrics from there. I think it was one of the songs I liked, Forever and Green Bottle or something like that, I think it was. Oh, man. And Don't Forget About Your Roots, most definitely. That was a beautiful song. And I actually got to meet those guys and been in a concert with them a couple of different times. Had a good sesh with them. So,
yeah.
It was all good, you know, 420, you know, all day. But yeah, and we got everything going, and it was good, you know. Yeah. But like I said, and you guys got beautiful running areas that you can just let your mind go free and stuff back here back in the bush and stuff like that. All these nice trails that you can go running and stuff like that, and just let your mind go free. And that's what I exactly needed, to go somewhere out in the wilderness and just run and let my mind be free. And that's when I came to New Zealand. That's what I basically did. While David Tua was hurt, and I got my mind together, got focused, and I said, you know what, I can give this another couple of years of my life, you know. And I'm ready to make a comeback to the ring actually again now. You know what I mean? Like, I fought Hemi. And I was at my worst, but I knocked Hemi down, you know what I mean, before he knocked me down. And I was totally out of shape, but I'm looking to get a trilogy fight with Hemi for the third fight. I'm about to come back and take all those losses that I did lose to. I'm about to redeem them back and come back with a victory.
Love it. Redemption. Look, if you knew then what you knew now, what advice would you give to your young Julius Long?
The advice I would give to the young Julius Long, just basically keep focused, man. You know, just keep being focused and keep being strong. Those opportunities are going to come, you know what I mean? My wife told me, Rebecca Lloyd Long, she told me I live a different creed from what everybody else lives, you know what I mean? I don't really care about too much things and stuff like that, but if I know that I want something, I just believe in it and it happens. Put it that way. You know, I live for a whole different creed from other people. You know what I mean? My wife doesn't even understand. She just be sitting around the house and she'd be like, yeah, we need like $10,000, $30,000. I don't worry about it. It's going to happen. You know?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Then all of a sudden somebody gives me a call like a week later, like, Judge, you want to come and fly to Australia or fly to London to fight this guy, or you're gonna be in this training camp? I'm like, well, how much is it paying, buddy? Oh, that's just great. That's just what I need. You gotta bring it on in. I'll take the bag. Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
I tell the wife, see ya, I'm out of here.
Love it. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here to do a little talanoa for Tautai A'e show. Did you have any final words that you wanted to share before we wrap up?
Oh yeah, when I first came over here, you guys was over here doing the haka and stuff at the airport at me, man. Had me terrified as shit. I thought I was gonna die, man. I thought I was gonna die. I know it's supposed to be a peace greeting. You're supposed to be like, hey, I'm here, hello. But you guys was waving spears and everything. I was like, oh man. I was like, can I get a pistol?
Love it. You know, thank you once again for making your time available for all of our viewers here on BluTV, Tautai A'e. It's been an absolute pleasure. Back to you.